Hi guys, so we're back at 2 weeks and 5 days out from the Two Bros Scottish Championship. So it's starting to kind of hit now a wee bit, energy-wise. So I was just saying how I kind of been coasting up until about 5 weeks out in terms of energy. It was still really good. Occasionally I'd be hungry. I'd be hungry before each meal, maybe about half an hour before each meal. But now it's a case of like pretty hungry all the time. Energy's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst it's ever been in previous years. So even if you're on 1,000 grams of carbs and you're still insanely lean or close to stage condition, like it still is a struggle to function with that lower body fat. So, and I've got a cold as well. So it seems as if I'm getting a cold every other week. But it's just part of the process with the immune system dropping and whatnot. So I usually have a cold until the last show, and then when the food goes back in, that's when the cold goes away. So it's just a case of immune system and being slightly under recovered. But sleep is still in a good place. For instance, I got 8 hours last night, almost all the way through. So as I've kind of said numerous times in the videos that I filmed through this prep, is that with sleep being close to 100%, that's made a massive difference. And I think that's why the physique does look like it's reaching a new level and a new peak. So today we're in for chest. The training's been stripped back now. So, well, not now, but for the past couple of weeks. So there's now no more intensifiers. So we don't do any drops, we don't do any rest pauses, and everything is one working set. So for instance, we've got cuffed cables for one set, Cybex incline plate loaded for one set, the prime plate loaded for one set, and then cable flies for one set. We still do 3 sets of side delts with the cables, but that's just light, just trying to get blood into the shoulder, and then one working set for both bicep exercises. So it's, as you can see, it's stripped back. The only thing we're trying to do now is just maintain the muscle mass and just keep the muscle there. We're not worried about growing. That's not going to happen at this moment in time. So we're just concerned about keeping training as efficient as possible while still lifting as much as possible, while still creating that as much stimulus as possible. So that's the goal going forward. So the sessions are thankfully a little bit shorter. But this is the first year I've ever tapered my training down, ever. Because I always used to consider that to be almost like a pussy thing to do, whereby I've always felt you should be doing more at the end, when in fact you should be doing less. And I think that's another aspect of why my physique in the past has come in a little bit too flat, a little bit too tired, a little bit too depleted, basically because the training has been still so intense towards the end in terms of volume. So we're stripping that right back. So yeah, that'll give you some insight as to how things operate this close to a show. And yeah, I'm wearing a vest today as well, so hopefully get some juicy shots from that. Enjoy, guys. Cheers. So we're going to start with seated cuff fly, as we have in the previous 4 million YouTube videos. But like I said, the difference here now is there's no rest pause, there's no back off set, there's no third set, there's just the one working set to failure. Probably still take spots off a crest, so we'll still do 4 reps. But like I said, the volume's stripped back now to allow the body just to kind of stay as recovered as possible. So, and again, it's definitely benefited my look, actually tapering my training back this time, like I said, as compared to previous years whereby I haven't. So definitely going to be a different ball game physique-wise. And I find that because I'm not overly fatigued, I'm not overly depleted, that any kind of food that I put in via cheat meals or refeeds or high days is sitting a lot better as well. So my body actually responds a lot better. So whereas before, if I put in a high day, sometimes I'd be lighter the next day. So that's one thing to consider, is that, you know, I need to taper my intensity back, my volume back, sorry, as the weeks go on. So good.
One more. Yeah. Go there.
So swapped out the incline dumbbell for this just because I felt the stability with the dumbbells was starting to go. So usually the dumbbell I see kind of like just a nice clean press to the top, whereas the past couple of weeks before we swapped out for this, it was kind of like all over the place. I could feel the rotators and the joint itself were struggling a wee bit. So shift to something a bit safer and still get the stimulus that we need. So that's the reason why we swapped out for these. So as soon as the off season's back up and running, throw dumbbells back in. So, because I enjoy them compared to this. I do enjoy this, but not as much as dumbbells. So yeah, prime press, you can see there's a subtle incline on there as well. It's only maybe about 10 degrees, but we've been using that for a while. And we've been using the narrow grip as well. Now, there is a little bit more in the way of tricep with that grip. However, we both feel the contraction at the top is just a little bit nicer than having it out on the outer handles. Plus, if I do too much pressing within that range rather than a kind of neutral range, my rotator cuff just takes the brunt of it. So we've been kind of avoiding that, doing more narrow where we can. So that's kind of like the regular grip there, and then a narrow grip with this. That's kind of been complementing the rotator cuff quite well. So.
It's such an unflattering angle, that one. That's all I got. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's the driest my triceps have ever been.
Yeah, just like you boots.
Yeah.
Hey, you go for the goal, man. I do. Catch the belt.
Aye.
Watch us.
Usually I lose the brachialis when I'm so flat, but aye. Aye.
Fucking lots.
Yeah.
I like that.
So do I.
Nasty. It's fucking just gnarly.
Ow. Yeah. I will do it. We're gonna do standing cable fly again with cuffs, because I still, well, the past few months that we've been doing cuffs, just feel a little bit more through the contraction rather than through the chest, sorry, rather than through my forearm. So that's why I've got such big forearms, because it fucking takes all the brunt. My struggles became lessons well learned. I got his eyes that keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it out this earth. Where's your worth? I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let him know. On the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind.
Yeah, come on, let's see how. One more. I gave them time, it's been too long. It was silent calm, but now the storm. I'm not the one you can't ignore. I never politic, if I want it, I'ma get mine. Never fake the funk, can't perform for your empire. Snatching my phone, make them all fall in line. I let the clock tick, count down, cause I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind, big time. Out of the ashes, a phoenix arises. Faith of a mustard seed can move any mountains. The people are watching, so I cannot stop it. Been down for too long now, I gotta rock it. Had to get it out the mud, you know how it goes. Now we're sitting at the top, had to bring the bros. Never thought I'd be the one who would play the role. Now look at where we at, man, who would've known? Temperature rising, I feel the pressure is on me. Luckily, I've been out here building an army. So 3 sets of side raises. Nothing to failure here. Just trying to get the blood, as much blood into the side delt as possible, so nothing fancy. You got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let him know. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind, big time. I've been off a building, used to be so stimulating. Now I'm reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Play with the fire, you get burned. Became lessons well learned. I got his eyes that keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it on this earth. Where's your worth? I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's... We're doing 2 sub-max sets and then 1 working set for iso-lateral cable curls. So first set, well, technically warm-up set, 15 reps. Second warm-up, 12 reps. And then we'll do an all-out 12-15 working set with 1 force rep going at the end. So again, even with biceps, which I feel recover quite easily, we've removed the volume. It's just 2 working sets now for this and an incline curl. So arms feel fuller, able to contract them a little bit better. I'm not getting, like, I've still got quite a lot of detail on my arms, whereas in previous years, because they've been so fatigued, I start to lose that kind of pop to the muscle. So brachialis is like proper firing, which I've not really had before. So it's definitely, I feel everything that we've done to tweak the training has paid off anyway. So. Out of the ashes, a phoenix arises. Faith of a mustard seed can move any mountains. People are watching, so I cannot stop it. Been down for too long now, I gotta rock it. Get it out the mud, you know how it goes. Now we sitting at the top, had to bring the bros. Never thought I'd be the one who would play the role. Now look at what we at, man, who would've known? Temperature rising, I feel the pressure is on me. Luckily, I've been out here building an army. Camouflage on a raj, we run this party. We kick them out the game, cause they wanna come tardy. This is for the ones who've been chasing their goals. If they was sleeping on their kid, now they better be woke. I'm taking your king and I leave them broke. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, master, minor, big time.
Incline cable curl. Again, it's been a staple for me for I don't know how long. Anyway, exact same again, 15, 12 working set. No drops, no intensifiers, just one straight set. Squeeze. Elbows high. Good, man. Up. Again. That's that huge squeeze. Get all the blood in the bicep. Again. Yeah. Perfect. And again. Go. One more. Come on. Right. Nah, go again. Come on in, fucking pull it up. That's it, there you go. Right guys, so that wraps up chest. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with how I look. It's all coming together, and I think it's just me removing my emotions this time around compared to previous years, whereby, you know, obviously I'm working with Nick, but we both have equal say on the input and whatnot. And when I look at myself in the morning, it's a case of treating myself like a client, sorry. So rather than looking at myself and just thinking I need more, looking at my body like it's one of my clients who are competing and making decisions that way, rather than being too emotional about it and saying, right, I need to slash my calories by this and this. I have to ask myself, would I ask a client to do that based off what I can see? And if the answer is no, then I don't do that. So, and then obviously any decision that I'd like to make, I always relay past Nick, and then Nick gives the final say. So as I've said numerous times here on Instagram, blah, 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 is that the dynamic that Nick and I have, I feel is very conducive to the way that I like doing things, in the way that I don't want necessarily someone to just hand me a plan and be like, go away and do it and then speak to me in 3 days. I like being able to have somewhat control, and then getting Nick, who's got an expert eye. He's insanely honest, insanely brutally honest as well, which obviously is a big thing for me. I don't like people who beat around the bush. I want someone to tell me, you know, you're not good enough, or you need to work hard at this, we need to take off that. And like I said, that dynamic's always worked for us. I've worked with Nick since I was a junior at 22, so it's been some amount of time that I've been with Nick, and he kind of knows me inside out, which makes the process that much easier. And like I said, I've addressed certain issues that have held me back in the past. For instance, using things like Trembolone, which not using AIs. Things like that are contributing to my sleep being better, my recovery being better, and just everything being better. And like I said, not listening, but going by eye and saying, right, we can see a little bit of flatness here, we need to fill out this. Would I do it with a client? Yes. What would I do with a client? probably around, just say, 1,000 gram of carbs. So that kind of gives you an insight into the kind of decision-making process that me and Nick are putting into place. So check-in tomorrow. So currently just send 3 official check-ins, so Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So we'll check in tomorrow after today's high day, and probably topping out at about 900 gram of carbs. Today, cardio was just 30 minutes this morning. I scaled that back a wee bit from the 45, and then obviously I won't do Stairmaster because if we're putting food in, I don't want to burn it just by doing cardio. That's pretty pointless, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, we'll get a few shots in now, see how we're looking, and yeah, I appreciate the support. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.